Salute Booktube, welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I thought I would just make a quick TBR video, what I plan to read in December. Although it's almost the middle of December, I should have done this a week ago, maybe even 2 weeks ago, but regulars of my channel will know that I was traveling in November. I came back from my travel. December was where I'm at in the United Arab Emirates in the Middle East. Um, it was the National Day, which is like on December 2nd, which is like the 4th of July in the United States. So it was a long weekend, very festive, lots of just friends and family around. So no reading, unfortunately, just friends and family, which is disappointing. Very much would rather just sit and read, but sometimes you got to be nice to those people, those friends and family. But anyway, that's past me now, so hopefully now I can get back to a little bit of reading, a little bit of booktubing, making more videos, etc. So I thought I'd just do this TBR to show you what I'm reading, or what I plan to read. And as I said, because November was a slow reading month for me because of my travels, and December also started slowly, what I want to do is I don't want to go crazy in my reading. I want to do very little reading actually. So hopefully this video won't be too long. But I want to do a little reading so that I finish whatever I read in December well before December is finished, so that I can start January in the new year with a fresh start. New year, new. That's the goal. So I'm not going to be doing too much reading. And I'll show you what I have to read. But before I show you the books, I also wanted to highlight one more thing, and that's this book, which if you saw my video a couple of videos ago, it was a tag. The tag video is the I think it's called the something shifts tag, reading shifts tag that I did. It's about 2 videos ago on my playlist, but one of the questions was it the shifts tag or was it another one? Now I forgot which one I mentioned it. Anyway, in one of my videos I mentioned this book, Candice Millard's Destiny of the Republic. The subtitle being Madness, Medicine. Yes, A Tale of Madness, Medicine, and the Murder of a President. And that president who was murdered is President Garfield of Ohio, I believe. 19th century American president who was assassinated. And I had mentioned the question in the prompt of the tag had said, I'm trying to remember now which tag video it was. Anyway, the prompt asked about adaptation, about I believe it's the nonfiction. It was the nonfiction November tag, and the question was, what do you think about storytelling in nonfiction and narrative nonfiction, that kind of thing? And I mentioned this book, and I said that this was an excellent book by Candice Millard. Very, very good read, very well written, amazing story, so interesting, and this would make an excellent, excellent TV series. Like if it was adapted to film or TV, it would be excellent. And I mentioned that in the video, and then after I posted the video and I was watching a bit of BookTube, I came across one of the newer channels that I've subscribed to, Jeffery Reads History. I think that's the name of his channel. I'll link it. I'll link his channel if I remember. He had mentioned that this book has been adapted, and it's very recently. It's been adapted into a series by Netflix. The show on Netflix is called. Jeffrey mentions it in his video. It's called Death by Lightning, and it's a 4-part. It's not very long, but it covers this, and apparently it's getting very good reviews. Good acting, good screenplay, the story. So, yeah, you heard it here first. I had no idea. And then just after I posted the video, I saw that, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that this has become a series. And it says here, it's the Wikipedia. Death by Lightning is an American historical drama miniseries created by Mike Makowski and based on the 2011 book Destiny of the Republic by Candice Millard. So yeah, good on you, Mike Makowski. You took my idea. I swear I had this idea, but now I really want to watch the show. The only issue is, again, I'm based, as I mentioned earlier, in the United Arab Emirates in the Middle East. So Netflix here is a bit different. It's not as comprehensive as Netflix in the US. We don't get everything that's available on Netflix America or Netflix in the USA. I think because of copyright, or there must be money. There's a reason for that. But anyway, so I'm not sure if this is on Netflix Global or Netflix Middle East or whatever. But I'll look for it. Maybe I'll get a VPN. I really want to watch the show. Maybe I'll even reread this. I don't know if I'll read it in December, or maybe I will. I'll see if I can find the Netflix. If I can get access to it, then maybe I'll read this again. Then watch the show again. The show is called Death by Lightning. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that before I get into the books that I am reading. And for that, speaking of the books I will be reading, um, the book I will be reading, oh no, now I can't find it. Have I forgotten it? Oh no, okay, because I got the other books by the author here. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. This is the book I'm reading. I actually started it already, just got into it. It's, again, Michael Burleigh. Regulars of my channel is going to know this author. I have 4 of his books and I've been reading. I read 3 of them. I read one in September, one in October, one in November, and this is December. And then I can, I don't know, I can get rid of these books, or I can at least put them, check it off the bucket list. The book is called The Best of Times, The Worst of Times. And then the subtitle is A History of Now. So this is basically, now is actually, so this is taken from Charles Dickens. This is Michael Burleigh trying to be smart and quoting Dickens. I think it's The Tale of Two Cities. This is 2017 is now. So this is first Trump administration. But yeah, I've started this, and I was very happy when I opened the table of contents. So it says there's the prologue. Then chapter 1 is 2 shocks that made our world incandescent with moral clarity, the post-Cold War present. The 2 shocks were the invasion of Iraq and then the financial crisis. And then chapter 2 is called Gulf Rivals. And when he's speaking about Gulf, he's talking about, it's right there. Can you see that? Gulf Rivals. When he's speaking of Gulf, that's the Arabian Gulf, what the Arabs call the Arabian Gulf, what the Persians call, this is controversial, they call it the Persian Gulf. So he starts it with my region of the world, which is interesting. Although once I started reading it, I'm so far not very impressed. This looks a bit rushed. It looks like these are, I don't know, articles or notes, and he's hashed it, very little editing. And probably because he's now he's been published numerous times, he's probably taken it to his head that he doesn't need to edit whatever. He can just release something quickly and whatever, it will sell. But again, you can see on the cover you've got Vladimir Putin, you've got the premier of China. I don't know why I'm going through a phase like a blank about his name. It's not Dao. Xi Jinping, and then Donald Trump also on the cover. So again, more recent. This is Michael Burleigh talking about recent. I'll show you the 3 other books I read. So the first one I read in September, way back in September, was Earthly Powers. And this is about the 19th century, just ideological, political history of the 19th century, basically from the French Revolution to the First World War. And then the second one continues. This is called Sacred Causes. And this is basically World War I and World War II. You can see Hitler, and it goes into, the end of World War II. If you can put a chronology to this, this is the 3rd one that I read in November. This is Blood and Rage, A Cultural History of Terrorism. So this is mostly post-World War II. Terrorism, mostly post-World War II. He talks a little bit before, but then most of it is Islamic terrorism, Ireland, like Northern Ireland, stuff in Europe and Italy and Germany specifically, events in Algeria, Chechnya, a whole bunch of places. But you can say this is from World War, the end of World War II to September 11th. And then there's this, which is now, which is pretty much the 21st century, just Michael Burleigh bloviating about the 21st century. So again, I've become very familiar with this author. I was really excited when I saw that the first chapter was about the Gulf, which I'm in the middle of right now. But then the writing, again, because he's written so much books, he feels like he's too good to be edited. So this is a bit, it looks rushed, and it looks like it's just notes, and he's just published notes. He's published instead of a final draft, he published his first or his second draft rather than his final draft. So anyway, it might be, I just read one or two chapters. It might get better. Who knows? Michael Burleigh tends to want to prove that he's the smartest person in the room. So his books tend to be overbroad, covering too much. And here again, if I continue, so chapter 1, we said, chapter 2 is Gulf Rivals. Chapter 3 is Islamic State, ISIS. Messages in Blood. 4 is The Sick Man of Europe, Erdogan's Turkey. Chapter 5 is Failed Nation, ? Russia under Putin. This is before the events with Ukraine. Chapter 6 is China, A Country for Old Men. Chapter 7, the USA, The Noisy Nation. Michael Burleigh is very pro-USA. And then Empire of Virtue is chapter 8, the European Union. And then there's a conclusion. So he tries to cover, in all his books, he tries to cover a lot more than he should. But again, he wants to prove he's the smartest guy in the room. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Again, the start of this was a little bit iffy, but we'll see. I'll read it to the end before I make judgments. And then the final, again, so I just want to read this. I mean, maybe Destiny of the Republic, perhaps this, if I can find the TV show and know that I can watch it this month. Then I'll read this, or I'll read this in 2026, which I'm going to be focusing on a lot of U.S. history because it's the 250th anniversary of the USA. Maybe I'll do it then, but so I'm just sticking to this. It's not even a long book. Maybe I'll do less. Maybe I'll add one more book. I'll let you know. One book I might add is this, Dracula, Bram Stoker. This is an anthology. It has Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Robert Louis Stevenson's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's got an introduction by Stephen King. This copy. So I started reading this, part of Steve Donohue's. He had a read aloud of this book, Dracula. But again, I was traveling and I put a pause. I've read half of it. Maybe I'll read the second half in December. I don't know. I've read Dracula before. This isn't the first time, so. I don't know, I'm just a completist like that, but what did I want to say? Yeah, it's just, this started in October. It's supposed to be a Halloween sort of spooky read. Now we're in December. It's like the Christmas festive period. Are you supposed to read the scary sort of stuff in Christmas? I don't know. We here in the Middle East, Christmas is not a big thing. We don't know what the big deal is, but... So I'll probably finish Dracula. Maybe if you ask me, am I a Dracula person or a Frankenstein person? I think I'm a Frankenstein person. Maybe I'll finish Dracula, then read Frankenstein. Again, I'm only reading so far just one book in December. So I have latitude for one more, probably a short book, probably a short one, half of Dracula or rereading Frankenstein. Again, scary Christmas vibes. That's what I'm going for, I guess. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to make a TBR. I usually do these in the beginning of the month, but again, I've been super busy. It's super tourist season. It's nice weather season. It's outdoor season here in the Middle East. December time, nice camping weather, nice beach weather. Water's getting a bit cold, but still a bit hot in the daytime. Hotter than is normal, but yeah, it's the way it is. But yeah, I'll end this. I'll thank you for watching, and I'll say goodbye. Salute, BookTube.